She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
You and your brother both directly asked your dad not to marry Camilla.
Yes.
In a development that has sent shockwaves through royal circles, Laura Lopes, daughter of Queen Camilla, has reportedly severed all contact with the royal family, following the accidental discovery of DNA results that have upended everything she thought she knew about her identity. Sources close to the family reveal that Laura, who has maintained a deliberately low profile despite her mother's rise to royal prominence, has not communicated with Camilla since the test results arrived in a plain manila envelope at her Wiltshire home last month. What these results revealed about her true paternity has apparently devastated the 46-year-old art curator and left the royal family scrambling to contain what insiders describe as potentially the most damaging revelation of the modern royal era. Why would DNA results drive Laura to such a drastic decision after decades of family loyalty? And why is Buckingham Palace treating this private family matter as a threat to the monarchy itself? Stay tuned, because this genetic bombshell changes everything. The accidental discovery. When Laura Lopes participated in what she believed was a routine medical screening earlier this year, she had no reason to suspect it would upend her entire understanding of her family history. According to sources familiar with the situation, Laura had undergone comprehensive genetic testing as part of a private healthcare program, a precautionary measure recommended by her physician following some concerning symptoms that ultimately proved benign. It was meant to be nothing more than thorough due diligence, revealed a source connected to the healthcare facility. The genetic screening was primarily focused on identifying potential hereditary health concerns, particularly certain cancers that had appeared in what she believed was her family medical history. The standard procedure should have ended with a routine consultation about the health implications of her genetic profile. Instead, Laura reportedly received something entirely unexpected in addition to her medical results: a separate analysis flagging significant genetic inconsistencies that could not be reconciled with her presumed parentage. The report essentially indicated that Andrew Parker Bowles could not possibly be her biological father, our source explained. The genetic markers showed conclusively that she shares no paternal DNA with her brother Tom, despite them supposedly having the same parents. What made this discovery particularly shocking was the clinical, impersonal way it was delivered. According to those familiar with the situation, the genetic inconsistency was flagged as a potential sample contamination issue, with the report suggesting Laura might want to provide new samples to resolve the apparent error. There was no recognition that this technical finding represented a life-altering revelation about her personal identity. She was devastated, said someone close to Laura's inner circle. Imagine discovering something this fundamental about yourself through a clinical report that treated it as nothing more than a technical anomaly. It was the coldest, most impersonal way possible to have your entire identity called into question. After the initial shock, Laura reportedly sought confirmation through additional testing, using a different facility and ensuring the strictest confidentiality. The secondary results only confirmed the original finding. Her DNA showed no genetic relationship to Andrew Parker Bowles, the man she had called father her entire life. Most disturbingly, this discovery led her to examine something she had never questioned: the timeline of her mother's relationships before her birth. What she found reportedly left her reeling. Laura had never paid much attention to the complicated chronology of her mother's life before her birth, our source continued. But once she began examining the timeline with this new information in mind, certain overlaps became impossible to ignore. The most significant revelation came when Laura allegedly discovered that her birth in January 1978 placed her conception in spring 1977, a period when Camilla's relationship with the then Prince Charles had already begun, despite both being married to others at the time. The timing aligned perfectly with what royal biographers have identified as the initial phase of Charles and Camilla's relationship, noted a royal historian consulted on the matter. While their affair has been acknowledged to have begun during this period, the possibility of a child resulting from it has never been publicly suggested, let alone confirmed. When Laura confronted her mother with the test results and the timeline she had assembled, the encounter reportedly ended in a heated exchange at Camilla's private residence, with security staff noting Laura's tearful departure and Camilla's subsequent cancellation of all appointments for the next 3 days, citing an unspecified personal matter. Since that confrontation, Laura has allegedly refused all contact with both her mother and the royal household, returning correspondence unopened and declining calls from even her closest royal connections. The palace panic. The revelation of Laura's genetic discovery has reportedly triggered unprecedented concern within the highest levels of the royal establishment. According to palace insiders, what might normally be treated as a private family matter has been designated a potential constitutional crisis, with special advisors brought in to assess implications that extend far beyond personal relationships. This isn't being handled as a family rift, revealed a source with direct knowledge of palace operations. This is being treated as a Category 1 situation, the designation used for events that could fundamentally alter public perception of the monarchy or raise questions about succession. The most immediate concern appears to center on the timing of King Charles's relationship with Camilla relative to his marriage to Princess Diana. While their affair during his marriage has long been acknowledged, the official narrative has always maintained that their relationship was discontinued during certain periods, including the early years of his marriage. The established timeline has been carefully crafted over decades, explained a former royal communications director. If evidence emerged suggesting the relationship with Camilla not only continued during the early period of his marriage to Diana, but actually produced a child, it would undermine decades of careful reputation management. Within days of Laura's confrontation with her mother, unusual security protocols were reportedly implemented around all medical facilities she had visited. Sources familiar with royal contingency planning noted the activation of specific media monitoring systems designed to identify early signs of sensitive information entering public circulation. Most tellingly, legal representatives connected to the royal household allegedly approached the private healthcare facility that conducted the initial genetic testing, citing patient confidentiality laws and requesting confirmation that all copies of Laura's genetic information had been secured according to standard privacy protocols. This wasn't about suppressing information, insisted our source close to these discussions. This was about ensuring that private medical data wasn't inappropriately accessed or shared. But the urgency and seniority of the individuals involved in these inquiries spoke volumes about the level of concern. Palace officials have reportedly prepared multiple contingency statements addressing different scenarios, ranging from flat denial to carefully worded acknowledgments that neither confirm nor deny the central allegation. Crisis management teams normally reserved for major royal scandals have been placed on standby, with communication strategies developed for various potential disclosure scenarios. There's particular concern about how this information might be weaponized if it became public, noted our palace source. This isn't just about a private family revelation. It potentially connects to narratives about deception, infidelity, and questions about institutional integrity that have surrounded the Charles-Camilla-Diana triangle for decades. Most significantly, King Charles has allegedly been directly involved in these preparations, something unusual for contingency planning, which is typically handled by staff with the monarch briefed only when necessary. According to those familiar with the situation, he has taken a personal interest in the communication strategies being developed, particularly regarding how potential revelations might affect public perceptions of Camilla. His primary concern appears to be protecting her from the inevitable media onslaught if this becomes public, our source explained. He's painfully aware that she would bear the brunt of public criticism, regardless of their shared responsibility. The family fractures. Beyond the institutional concerns, Laura's discovery has reportedly created profound rifts within her immediate family. According to those close to the situation, her relationship with her brother Tom Parker Bowles has become particularly strained as he has attempted to mediate between his sister and mother without taking sides. Tom is in an impossible position, revealed a source close to the family. He loves his sister deeply and understands her sense of betrayal, but he's also protective of their mother and concerned about the broader implications for the royal family, which has become an integral part of his life and career. The most painful aspect for Laura, according to friends, has been reconciling this revelation with her relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles, the man she had always believed was her father. Sources indicate that she has not yet disclosed her discovery to him, creating a painful dilemma, as she grapples with whether revealing the truth would be cruel or necessary at this stage of his life. Andrew has been a devoted father to her, said someone familiar with their relationship. The question she's wrestling with is whether the biological truth matters more than the lifetime of love and support he's given her. there's no easy answer. For Queen Camilla, the situation reportedly represents her greatest personal crisis since joining the royal family. Those close to her describe a woman torn between institutional loyalty and maternal devotion, desperate to reconnect with her daughter, but constrained by the broader implications of the situation. Camilla is devastated, revealed a longtime friend. Whatever the circumstances of Laura's birth, there's never been any question about the depth of love between them. The idea that this revelation could permanently damage that relationship is causing her immense pain. Most concerning for family unity has been King Charles's reaction to the situation. According to palace sources, he has been uncharacteristically withdrawn since learning of Laura's discovery, canceling several private engagements and spending increased time at his Highgrove retreat. Behavior that staff recognize as indicators of significant distress. The king feels tremendous guilt, explained our source close to royal circles. Not just about the past circumstances, but about how this revelation is affecting people he cares about deeply in the present. He's watching a family he loves being torn apart by a situation he helped create nearly half a century ago. The most visible sign of these tensions came at a recent family gathering, where Laura's absence was conspicuous. According to attendees, her name was notably not mentioned throughout the event, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere that even experienced royal staff found difficult to navigate. It was the elephant in the room that no one dared acknowledge, noted one attendee. When her brother was asked about her absence, he simply said she was unavailable and quickly changed the subject.
And what today's letter will do is simply give credence to the view that there was more to it than meets the eye.
Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has stunned the world with her most explosive revelation yet. At 71, the woman affectionately known as Fergie has finally broken her decades-long silence, sharing a secret so profound it threatens to reshape our understanding of modern royal history. For years, royal watchers and historians have speculated about the true nature of Fergie's relationship with the royal family, but none could have anticipated the extraordinary disclosure that the Duchess has finally felt compelled to share. Let us explore the remarkable implications of this unprecedented revelation from a woman who has lived both in the spotlight and the shadows of the British monarchy. First, we must understand Sarah's unique position within royal circles. Unlike other royal spouses who either fully embraced the institution or made clean breaks, Fergie has occupied a complex middle ground, divorced from Prince Andrew yet maintaining connections to the royal family, particularly through her daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. "I've spent decades navigating this extraordinary tightrope," the Duchess revealed in her groundbreaking interview. "There comes a point in life when the burden of secrecy becomes heavier than the consequences of truth." But why now? Why at 71? The Duchess has reportedly faced serious health challenges in recent months, prompting what she describes as a reckoning with my own mortality. This brush with her own fragility seems to have crystallized a determination to share her truth before it's too late. "I've lived with this knowledge for over 30 years, she explained. "I couldn't bear the thought of taking it to my grave." The revelation centers on the final years of Princess Diana's life and the complex dynamics between Diana, Sarah, and the royal establishment. According to Ferguson, she and Diana shared far more than their public friendship suggested. "Diana and I weren't just friends navigating similar circumstances," the Duchess stated. "We were strategists, confidants with a shared vision for how the monarchy needed to evolve." Most explosively, Sarah claims that she and Diana had developed detailed plans to create an alternative power center within the royal family, one focused on humanitarian work and modernizing the monarchy from within. Their parallel court, as Ferguson describes it, was designed to gradually shift the institution's focus toward the causes and approaches both women championed. "What people never understood was that Diana and I weren't rebellious for rebellion's sake," she explained. "We were trying to save the monarchy from itself, to bring it into a new era before it was too late. We saw the dangers of rigidity and tradition for tradition's sake." This revelation casts decades of royal history in new light. The tension between Sarah and the royal establishment, Diana's increasing independence in her charitable work, their respective separations from their princes, all these now appear as potential elements of a larger, more coordinated approach than previously recognized. According to Ferguson, Their plan came to an abrupt end with Diana's tragic death in 1997. I was left to carry this vision alone, without my partner, without the person who gave it its greatest power, she revealed. And I simply wasn't strong enough to continue the mission single-handedly. The most poignant aspect of Sarah's revelation is her expression of profound regret at not finding the courage to continue their shared vision after Diana's passing. I've lived with the weight of that failure every day, she admitted, wondering what might have been different for the monarchy, for the princes, for everyone, if I had found the strength to honor our plan. For royal historians, this disclosure prompts a re-evaluation of key moments in modern Windsor history. Sarah's seemingly erratic relationship with the royal family over the years, sometimes embraced, often held at arm's length, takes on new significance when viewed as the actions of someone carrying a complex legacy. Her continued connection to Prince Andrew despite their divorce might reflect more than personal loyalty. It might represent her determination to maintain some foothold within the institution she and Diana had hoped to transform. The Duchess's relationship with Queen Elizabeth II also requires reassessment through this new lens. Their reportedly warm personal relationship, despite institutional distance, suggests the late Queen might have understood more about Ferguson's position than was publicly acknowledged. Her Majesty was extraordinarily perceptive, Ferguson noted. There were moments when I wondered if she sensed what Diana and I had envisioned, even if we never explicitly shared it with her. For William and Harry, this revelation potentially offers new insight into their mother's final years and strategic thinking. The princes have not yet commented on Ferguson's disclosure, but royal watchers suggest this may provide context for some of Diana's more independent actions in her final years, decisions that sometimes puzzled even those closest to her. The timing of this revelation coincides with a period of significant transition for the monarchy under King Charles III, prompting inevitable questions about whether Sarah chose this moment deliberately to influence the institution's current evolution. "I've carried this secret through the reign of one monarch," she stated. "I couldn't bear to carry it through another without at least offering the perspective Diana and I developed together." Public reaction has been predictably divided, with some seeing this as a self-serving attempt by Ferguson to reclaim relevance, and others viewing it as a valuable historical clarification from one of the few remaining insider witnesses to that tumultuous period. Royal commentators note that unlike many of Ferguson's past disclosures, this one centers not on scandal, but on substantive vision for the monarchy's purpose and future. For Sarah herself, the revelation appears to represent a form of unburdening. "There's a profound relief in finally speaking this truth," she acknowledged. "For too long, Diana and I were portrayed as simply rebellious, difficult women who couldn't adapt to royal constraints. The reality was far more purposeful. We had a vision for evolution, not destruction." Perhaps the most striking element of Ferguson's disclosure is her suggestion that some of the changes she and Diana envisioned have gradually come to pass anyway, through the natural evolution of the younger royals and changing social expectations. "When I see certain developments in how the monarchy presents itself today, I sometimes wonder if Diana and I were simply ahead of our time," she reflected. "Perhaps our greatest mistake was impatience." This revelation also sheds new light on Sarah's prolific career as an author, entrepreneur, and public figure following her separation from royal life. What appeared to be scattered efforts at reinvention might instead reflect continued attempts to demonstrate alternative models of public service and celebrity, approaches that prioritized authenticity and direct connection over institutional distance. For Princess Eugenie and Beatrice, their mother's disclosure potentially offers new context for their own careful navigation of royal identity. Both princesses have carved out paths that balance royal connection with independent careers and relatively normal lives, perhaps embodying elements of the vision their mother and Diana had hoped to implement more broadly. The Duchess has indicated that her full account will be detailed in an upcoming memoir, prompting speculation about what further revelations might emerge. "This is just the beginning of the conversation," she noted. "After decades of silence, there's much more to share about what Diana and I hoped the monarchy could become." As the dust settles on this extraordinary disclosure, questions inevitably arise about verification. While some elements of Ferguson's account align with known historical facts, Others may prove difficult to corroborate given Diana's passing and the private nature of many of the conversations described. Yet Ferguson has reportedly maintained journals and correspondence from that period, materials she now feels free to share. What remains most compelling about this revelation is its focus not on personal grievances or sensational details, but on institutional purpose and vision. At its heart, Sarah's disclosure presents an alternative path the monarchy might have taken, one that perhaps still offers insights relevant to its current challenges. For those who have followed the complex saga of the Duchess of York over decades, this revelation provides new context for understanding a woman who has been variously portrayed as opportunistic, authentic, troublesome, and warm-hearted. Perhaps the truth, as Sarah herself suggests, is that she has been a keeper of an unfulfilled vision, carrying the weight of a path not taken. At 71, you realize life is too short for diplomatic half-truths, the Duchess concluded. Diana and I believed in a monarchy that could be both magical and accessible, traditional and responsive. I've waited long enough to honor that shared dream by finally speaking its name. As royal watchers digest this remarkable disclosure, one thing remains certain. Sarah Ferguson has once again demonstrated her capacity to surprise, evolve, and remain a fascinating figure in the royal story. Whether her revelation will be embraced as valuable historical context or dismissed as revisionist interpretation remains to be seen. But the Duchess, after decades in and around the royal orbit, has ensured that her perspective, and through it, a glimpse of Diana's thinking, will be preserved in the historical record. The palace has maintained its characteristic silence in response to Ferguson's disclosure, neither confirming nor denying her account. This restraint itself speaks volumes about the complex position Sarah continues to occupy, not fully inside or outside the royal circle, but perpetually in its intriguing periphery. For a woman whose relationship with the monarchy has been defined by unprecedented cycles of embrace, rejection, scandal, and reconciliation, this final act of revelation represents perhaps her most significant contribution to our understanding of recent royal history. By sharing this account of shared purpose with Diana, the Duchess of York has added a compelling new dimension to a royal narrative that continues to fascinate and evolve. As Sarah herself noted in concluding her interview, history has not always been kind to women who challenge institutions from within. I hope this truth, finally spoken, might help reframe not just how Diana and I are remembered, but what we genuinely hope to achieve together. Whether this revelation represents the closing of a chapter or the opening of new historical reassessment remains to be seen. But at 71, the Duchess of York has ensured that her voice, and through it, an echo of Diana's vision, will remain part of the ongoing conversation about the monarchy's past, present, and future. In the end, perhaps Sarah Ferguson's most significant legacy won't be the scandals or comebacks that have defined her public image, but this final act of witness, speaking a truth she and Diana allegedly shared about what the monarchy could become. It is a reminder that behind the pageantry and protocol, the royal story is ultimately a human one, filled with vision, conflict, compromise, and unrealized possibilities.
Our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the center ground.
King Charles has stunned the world by bestowing the prestigious title of Royal Guardian of National Heritage upon Kate Middleton, shaking the monarchy to its core. This historic decision redefines centuries-old traditions and marks a transformative moment for the royal family. For decades, this role has been associated with the monarch's spouse, but now, Kate steps into the spotlight, carrying the weight of history. Let us explore the profound implications of this unprecedented move, the new heir to a timeless role. First, the Royal Guardian of National Heritage title is not something you pick up like a souvenir. It has been traditionally reserved for the Queen Consort, and it is one of the most prestigious roles within the royal system. The fact that Camilla has been expecting it, preparing for it with dignity and determination, makes this transition even more intriguing. Kate, the Princess of Wales, has now been marked as the custodian of this legacy. That is huge. You are not just being given a title. You are inheriting expectations, duties, and a public profile that will follow you forever. This is just the beginning of a legacy that could reshape the monarchy forever. Why now? Why Kate? These are the big questions floating around. Camilla has been working diligently alongside Charles, logging hundreds of engagements every year. She has seen firsthand what it takes to be at the center of royal life. And now, at 77, she is watching as the role she believed would be hers has been passed to her daughter-in-law. By passing the baton to Kate, Charles is saying he believes in this new generation and in Kate's ability to carry on the family's mission in a way that is both modern and respectful of tradition. The timing could not be more fascinating, with King Charles facing health concerns, including reports about a recent cancer diagnosis. The monarchy's stability is under a microscope. There is an urgent need to prepare the younger royals for the responsibilities they will eventually shoulder. By giving Kate such a high-profile role now, the family is laying the groundwork for her to step up when needed. It is not just a nice gesture, it is a strategic move. Let us talk about the symbolism here. The Royal Guardian title is not just about prestige, it is about continuity. For centuries, this role has been a cornerstone of royal tradition. By giving it to Kate, Charles is bridging the past and the future. And let us not overlook the significance of Kate's position in the royal hierarchy. As the wife of the heir to the throne, she is already a central figure in the monarchy's future. This new title cements her importance even further. Kate's upbringing is another critical piece of this puzzle. As a commoner who married into royalty, she brings a fresh perspective to the role. Her background in art history and her passion for early childhood development make her uniquely qualified to oversee the nation's cultural heritage. But let us not forget what is at stake here. Being royal guardian is no walk in the park. It is a role that comes with intense public scrutiny, endless expectations, and a lifetime of service. Kate has charm and poise in spades. That much is obvious from her public appearances. But the real test will come, as she balances this new responsibility with her existing duties. Can she manage the pressures of this expanded role while maintaining her other commitments? That is the million-dollar question. Charles's decision also signals a broader shift within the monarchy. The royal family has been under increasing pressure to modernize and stay relevant in today's fast-paced world. By giving Kate such a prominent role, they are not just handing her a title, they are setting her up as a symbol of this new, more progressive era. It is a smart move, one that acknowledges the importance of appealing to younger generations while still honoring the weight of tradition. This move is also a masterclass in forward thinking. Charles is not just making decisions for today, he is planning for the monarchy's future. Kate's legacy is one of grace, dedication, and a measured approach to royal life. If she can channel these qualities into her new role, she will be in good shape. What makes Kate's position even more compelling is her potential to redefine what it means to be royal in the 21st century. The days of purely ceremonial duties are fading. Royals are now expected to champion causes, connect with the public, and use their platforms for good. Kate, with her natural charisma and genuine empathy, is perfectly positioned to take on these challenges. This transition also raises interesting questions about influence and power within the monarchy. Historically, royal roles and titles have often been influenced by traditional notions of hierarchy, but Kate's rise to prominence shows that the family is willing to embrace change. By elevating her to such a significant role, they are sending a powerful message about merit and the evolving nature of the monarchy. The public's reaction to this news has been a mix of excitement and curiosity. Kate has already won over many hearts with her dignified demeanor and sincere public appearances, but this new title comes with higher stakes. People will be watching closely to see how she handles the pressure and what kind of impact she will have on the monarchy's future. As Kate grows into her new role, she will also have the opportunity to carve out her own identity within it. While she will undoubtedly draw inspiration from those who came before, she will also have the chance to bring her own unique perspective to the role. Whether it is through heritage conservation, public advocacy, or educational initiatives, Kate has the potential to leave a lasting mark on the monarchy. Charles's choice marks a turning point for the royal family, shaping its future in surprising ways. The crown's youngest symbol of continuity and progress. It is worth noting that this move is not just about the present. It is about securing the monarchy's future in a world that is increasingly skeptical of traditional institutions. The royal family needs to demonstrate its relevance, and by investing in Kate and giving her a meaningful role, they are showing a commitment to evolution and adaptability. Kate's new title is a key part of that strategy. Of course, none of this guarantees smooth sailing. The challenges ahead are enormous. The royal family is under constant scrutiny, and every misstep is magnified 100-fold. But if Kate can rise to the occasion, and all signs suggest she can, she will be a pivotal figure in shaping the monarchy for years to come. So what does this mean for Camilla? Sources close to the palace report that the queen consort is furious at what she perceives as a slight. For years, she has stood by Charles, weathering public criticism and gradually winning acceptance. The royal guardian title was to be her crowning achievement, a recognition of her place in the royal hierarchy. Camilla feels blindsided, says one palace insider. She's put in the work, she's earned her place, and now she's watching as Kate is given a role that traditionally would have been hers. It's not just about the title, it's about what it represents. The tension between Kate and Camilla has reportedly reached an all-time high. While they maintain a facade of cordiality in public, behind palace walls, the atmosphere is said to be frosty. William finds himself caught in the middle, torn between supporting his wife and respecting his father's marriage. Charles, for his part, is said to be standing firm on his decision. The king believes this is what's best for the monarchy, explains a royal correspondent. He has the utmost respect for Camilla, but he's thinking about the institution's future. Kate connects with the public in a way that's crucial for the royal family's continued relevance. This royal drama unfolds against a backdrop of broader changes within the monarchy. As Charles implements his vision of a slimmed-down royal family, every decision takes on added significance. Who's in favor? Who's being sidelined? The balance of power is shifting, and with it come inevitable tensions. For Kate, this new title is both an honor and a burden. She's aware of the rift it has caused, and is reportedly working behind the scenes to smooth things over with Camilla. Kate doesn't want this title to come at the cost of family harmony, notes a source close to the princess. She's trying to navigate this delicate situation with the grace we've come to expect from her. As for the British public, opinions are divided. Many applaud Charles for recognizing Kate's contributions and securing the monarchy's future. Others sympathize with Camilla, seeing the decision as a snub to a woman who has dedicated her later years to royal service. What remains clear is that this decision will have lasting implications for the royal family. It's not just about a title, it's about the monarchy's direction as it navigates the complexities of the modern world. Kate's journey as royal guardian is just beginning, and it promises to be a fascinating one. As she steps into this new role, she will be carrying not just a title, but the hopes and expectations of a nation. It's a lot for anyone to handle, but if there's anyone who can do it, it's her. And with the support of William and her children, Kate is poised to become a defining figure in the next chapter of royal history. As we dive deeper into the significance of this title transfer, it's essential to understand what makes the royal guardian role so unique. This title, historically associated with the preservation and promotion of Britain's cultural heritage, carries enormous responsibility. The Guardian oversees the Royal Collection, one of the largest and most important art collections in the world, and serves as a patron to numerous cultural institutions across the United Kingdom. It's a role that requires not just an appreciation for history, but a vision for how that history connects to the present and future. Kate's background in art history makes her particularly well-suited for this aspect of the role. Her degree from St. Andrews and her subsequent work with the National Portrait Gallery have given her a solid foundation in the arts. But the title encompasses more than just art and artifacts. It's about preserving and promoting the intangible heritage that defines British identity. Camilla's disappointment stems partly from her own passion for these areas. Over the years, she has cultivated relationships with numerous heritage organizations and has shown a genuine interest in preserving Britain's cultural legacy. To see this responsibility given to Kate feels, to her, like a repudiation of her efforts. There's a sense that Camilla has been passed over, explains one royal historian. It's not just about ego, It's about recognition for years of dedicated service. The timing of this announcement has also raised eyebrows, coming as it does during a period of transition for the monarchy, with Charles still establishing himself as king. It suggests a deliberate strategy. Perhaps Charles is using this appointment to signal the direction he wants the monarchy to take, one that embraces modernity while respecting tradition. Kate's early exposure to public life has already set the stage for her to embrace this responsibility. From accompanying the royal family at major events to engaging with the public on her own initiatives, she has shown an ability to connect with people across all walks of life, a skill that will be invaluable as she grows into her new role. Her interactions with the public have been marked by a natural warmth and genuine interest that suggests she is well suited for the demands of royal life. But what does it mean for the monarchy to have Kate in such a prominent role in this modern age? For one, it signals a willingness to adapt and embrace change. The British monarchy, an institution steeped in tradition, has often been criticized for being slow to evolve. By elevating Kate to such a prominent role, the royal family is taking a step towards modernization. This move acknowledges the importance of engaging with younger generations and addressing contemporary issues. Kate's role will likely involve a mix of traditional duties and modern initiatives. She may take on ceremonial roles, such as representing the monarchy at cultural events, while also championing causes that resonate with her generation. Issues like early childhood development, mental health, and arts education are likely to feature prominently in her work, reflecting the evolving priorities of the monarchy. This transition also highlights the importance of forward-looking leadership within the royal family. Charles's decision to elevate Kate is not just about the present, it's about preparing for the future. As the monarchy continues to navigate the challenges of the 21st century, Kate's perspective as a relatively younger royal, with a connection to ordinary Britons, will be invaluable. While the title of Royal Guardian carries significant weight, it also offers Kate a unique platform to shape her own identity within the royal family. Unlike her other roles, which may come with more rigid expectations, this position allows her to carve out a distinct path. This individuality will be crucial as she balances the expectations of her role with her own aspirations and interests. As we look to the future, Kate's journey will undoubtedly be shaped by the changing dynamics of the royal family. With the passing of time and the emergence of new challenges, the monarchy will need to continue adapting. Kate's role as royal guardian will be a critical part of this evolution, serving as a bridge between tradition and progress. The decision to bestow this title on Kate also reflects a broader trend within the monarchy. The emphasis on continuity and stability in a world that is constantly changing. The royal family's ability to adapt while maintaining its core values is essential, and by investing in Kate, the monarchy is ensuring that it remains relevant and resilient in the face of future challenges. Kate's ascent to the role of royal guardian is a moment of great significance, not just for her, but for the monarchy as a whole. It marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that is filled with promise and potential. As she grows into this role, Kate will have the opportunity to leave a lasting impact on the institution and the people it serves. And despite the current tensions with Camilla, there's hope that time will heal these wounds, and that both women will find their place in this evolving royal landscape. For now, all eyes are on Kate as she takes on this new responsibility. The world watches with anticipation to see how she will shape this historic role and, by extension, the future of the British monarchy. In the grand tapestry of royal history, this moment may well be remembered as a pivotal turning point, a time when the monarchy once again demonstrated its remarkable ability to adapt and endure, even in the face of internal strife and external challenges. The saga of the Royal Guardian title is far from over. Indeed, it is just beginning. And like all great royal dramas, it promises to be a tale of ambition, duty, rivalry, and ultimately, the unyielding weight of the crown.